what's up, everybody? How you doing? We're going to give a couple of minutes here for people to kind of start piling in, and actually kind of starting on time today. Holy smokes. How's that for a new one? I'm also taking a look at my website, and I have the live stream widget embedded on my website, but it's not uploading with the video stream, and I don't know why that is. When you click on the links, though, it does take you to the video. So not exactly sure what's going on there. I'll look into that, hopefully get that fixed. I told a bunch of people to go to my website and watch today, so hopefully it won't take too long for them to click on one of those things and realize that we are live. Also wanted to remind everybody that if you are on the Discord server, you are fully able to go to the live chat channel, and when you chat on the Discord server in the live chat channel, it will actually come through, and you will be able to see that on the live stream right here. All right, how is everybody? How's everybody doing? Again, like, subscribe, share, all of that stuff. If you're on Facebook, you can even host a watch party with your own friends. We've got quite a bit to cover today. Quite a bit to cover. So I'm wondering if 2:30 ends up being a better time frame to do this. You know, I was doing it at 2 to give myself kind of like a buffer room to go ahead and prepare for the show. But it looks like 2:30 might actually be a more popular slot. We get much more people in there. Here, I'll post a Discord invite right now. So this will be good for one day. All right. So just one day. All right, here we go. Boom. All right, there's the Discord server. When stimulus checks will be deposited on TurboTax cards? I don't even understand that. I don't know what a TurboTax card is, so I don't know. Generally speaking, okay, if you have a direct deposit account that the IRS has used in the last 2 years to deposit your return, they will use that account, okay? If that account is no longer good, or they don't have a direct deposit account for you, then what they will do is they will mail you a check at the last known address that they have for you. If you've recently moved, you're going to be in a bit of a pinch. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to hop on and update the information. When you go to the IRS's page, the whole get my stimulus or something like that, whatever that's called, there is an option there for you to go ahead and actually make contact with them about your information, so you can actually update it right there. So that's the best way to do that. All right, I don't know necessarily if this is all working appropriately. It seems like it's all going really, really, really slow. Yeah, Eric, I got mine yesterday too. So I'm going to refresh this here. Hold on, I want to see if my chat channel is just not working so good. Yeah, I'm not getting accurate numbers on my chat channel today, so which happens sometimes. Not a big deal. All right, so oh man, anybody else do anything interesting here the past day or two this week? I've been getting a whole lot of orders actually for my business. Been getting a lot of that stuff. Stimulus was deposited but not to his account, huh? Yeah, I don't know anything about TurboTax, guys. I don't use TurboTax. I am vehemently against TurboTax. So I don't use them. I just don't. Working from home means actually working. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. It'd be nice if the weather was a little bit warmer. I mean, I get this nice delivery of cigars. So Thompson Cigar had this like 1999 thing where you got a humidor and like 12 cigars. And so, you know, they'll be mid-grade cigars. I'm like, that's, you know, hey, I need a humidor anyway. Mine busted in a move. So I went ahead and decided to go ahead and get it. It's only $20, you know. Came with a lighter, a snipper, which I already had anyway, and then 12 cigars and a pretty nice humidor, actually, and a humidifier inside. So I went ahead and picked that up for $20. It got here, and then the weather turned to snow. It's like, damn it, because I like going out on the hammock, and I like being on the hammock and enjoying a cigar and a beer and just kind of chilling out for a little bit. That's kind of like my church. and I wasn't able to do that. Yeah, I know, like 1 inch of snow and some accumulation or something like that tomorrow. Yay. I mean, I don't think you're going to need to shovel it. It'll probably melt by the middle of the afternoon, but yeah, I know. It's it's frustrating. No, I like a Maduro. I'm a big Maduro fan. So I like pressed Maduros, and that's, but other than that, I have some brands that I like. I like Gurkha. I like Five Vegas. I like Monte Cristo. Monte Cristo Whites, which are the exact opposite of Maduro, are really, really good too. I enjoy those. Trying to expand my cigar repertoire, if you will. And what's the cigar company that let's see, like Warriors Cigars or something like that. God, what the heck is the Warfighter Tobacco? I haven't had them yet, but these guys are affiliated with the Black Rifle Dudes, and I want it just because I like all of those guys over there. I'd like to give these cigars a try, and they're called warfightertobacco.com. Warfightertobacco.com. Of course, it's a veteran-owned company. Combat veteran too. So I really want to check those out. Haven't had an opportunity to do that yet, but yeah, Gurkhas and Five Vegas are really, 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 really good. All right, HC Red, yeah. Arturo Fuente, I like Arturo Fuentes. I just haven't found one that I would consider like a daily driver for me yet. And Rush has a lot more money than I do, so I'm sure that he's got some really nice ones that I can't afford. So, oh man. All right, here we go. Okay, I gotta start off with this as we got people funneling in and hanging out now. And like I said, thank you so much for that. Please like, subscribe, share if you would to help the stream grow. Friendly reminder that next week we're gonna only be doing this once a week for free, and then the premium subscribers are gonna have to work on it. I don't have a way for you to sign up for premium services yet. I will have that this week. Okay. So just keep in mind, maybe we'll have a couple of Swisher Sweets. Maybe we'll have a couple of free episodes next week just to go ahead and get people the information, just so everybody kind of knows what's going on. But I have to start off with Nancy Pelosi, and then we'll get to the Jim Acosta thing. I know that yeah, Rocky Patel is good. I like Rocky Patel, and they're not that bad, not that bad. Let's see. So Nancy Pelosi. This woman goes on, I don't know, what is it, the Late Late Show? Whatever, I don't know, whatever the guy that does the singing in cars thing. She goes on there and he asks her to show something from her house, because we're all like quarantining together. These stupid celebrities keep telling everybody, hey, just don't leave your house, as they're doing it from their, 15,000 square foot Malibu mansion where they don't have to worry about supplies, food, entertainment, all of that other stuff. It becomes a very different game when you're talking about your average person who's stuck in like 1,000 square foot house or less, and you got kids and things like that floating around. So it's real easy for celebrities to be really sanctimonious with this crap. So anyway, Nancy Pelosi, who I have to remind you delayed your stimulus checks by over a week, and is now pretending that the president is slowing down the checks because the checks will have his name on it. The direct deposits don't have his name on it. These are the physical checks where people don't have direct deposit on file with the IRS. But what ended up happening is there was no delay on the checks. The checks are all going out on time, okay? They're all going out on time. And there's zero delay, zero. But Pelosi goes out there and tries to tell people that there's going to be a delay because they're putting his name on the checks. That's not happening. Well, they're putting his name on the checks, but there is no delay. Meanwhile, Pelosi's the one who delayed the stimulus checks by over a week. So it's kind of interesting. So anyway, this ends up happening. And look, I'm not going to begrudge her for being wealthy, even though she has done insider trading in the past. I'm not going to begrudge her that. What I am going to say is that this is extremely tone deaf from somebody who is holding up the $250 billion that would go for the business loan account, which is now empty and dry, okay? That there was bipartisan support for that $250 billion. She stopped that. She delayed the first stimulus, which went to the individuals. That all got stopped. So as she's delaying monetary aid, whether you support that monetary aid or not is a whole other ballgame. But I'm just saying, if you are are going to say that we shouldn't be delaying aid to people, then Pelosi is not going to be a friend of yours, as Pelosi has been delaying that aid while she shows off like $25,000 refrigerators that is just loaded up with $12, $13 a pint ice cream. Have a watch.
Welcome back. We're here with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and we've asked her to share something from her home for a little late show and tell. Speaker Pelosi, what have you found? What are you going to share with us from your home?
Chocolate.
Really?
Chocolate candy.
Oh, wow.
And this is something you can get through the mail.
Okay.
You never run out.
Oh, you can get it through the mail?
Yeah, absolutely. This is the episode of Cribs I never knew I needed. Oh
my God.
Wow.
Other people in our family look for some other flavors, but chocolate, and then we have some other chocolate here.
Yeah.
See, I've always felt a connection with you, and now I understand why. Since you've been isolating in your house, how much of your regular diet do you think is ice?
All right, we don't need to go into the details of it. But so she does this, right? And again, you're in a position where you've held up the stimulus checks to individuals, and now you've held up $250 billion to small businesses. So as you're doing that, okay, as you're delaying aid to people, you're showcasing your wealth and you're flaunting your wealth on television. And again, the average person is going to look at this and go, F you. I'm not going to begrudge her being wealthy, but you're tone deaf. She's the reason that people didn't get relief over a week ago. She's the reason. And here she is. Oh, you can get this in the mail. Yeah, really expensive ice cream. I've never had it, but really expensive ice cream. In her big, massive fridge, and look at all these chocolates and all that stuff. That's what I'm doing. I'm living the high life while you're all out there struggling to pay your bills, and I'm delaying payments to you. And if you're a small business trying to keep your employees employed, I'm delaying loan opportunities to you because the loan fund ran out. It's a pretty dick move, but that's what she did. And it just very, very, very tone deaf. Now, so this brings me to, speaking of tone deaf, Jim Acosta. Now, I ran into this. This was quite interesting because CNN, which I have to remind everybody, CNN has more on-air staffers who have tested positive, allegedly, for COVID-19, okay? And I only say allegedly because now I'm starting to wonder if Cuomo was actually positive. Because if he is positive, why is he running around with people outside of his house and endangering his family? I don't understand that. But if Cuomo is positive for COVID-19, okay, CNN has got more staffers with the virus than any other network, and CNN airs the least amount of coronavirus briefings from the federal government. They have skipped 7 hours of it over the past 2 weeks. So that's an interesting correlation if you ask me. CNN, which, by the way, has belittled Dr. Birx. They've attacked Fauci, but Birx in particular, they've gone after her. And if you are going to be a network that doesn't air the briefings and then tells people that the people who are the experts giving the briefings are probably not going to be right, they shouldn't be trusted, shouldn't be listened to, and then that's the network that continues to come down with cases of this, you have to wonder about the correlation. So CNN airs the least amount of coronavirus briefings. They've skipped 7 hours of it over the past 2 weeks. So then you have a very interesting theory out of the Washington Times. Jennifer Harper wrote this article, "The Jim Acosta Mystery Deepens." Okay? That's all right. That's interesting. The Jim Acosta Mystery Deepens. Okay, what mystery exactly are we talking about here? And I saw the headline. I'm like, what's going on? Let's take a look at this. What do we have here? If you wonder why CNN White House correspondent Jim Acosta continues to engage in aggressive back and forth with the president, even during a national emergency, Steve Krakauer has some insight. He's a former CNN producer who has since become a media analyst, offering a daily column called Fourth Watch. He knows a little something about Mr. Acosta. Okay. I don't think Jim Acosta is a bad guy. I worked with him at CNN, and he was a solid, competent reporter. If Acosta's goal was to be a great White House reporter, he could probably do it. But that's not Jim Acosta's goal. Now, I want to pause here and point out that Jim Acosta has had one of the most laughable tenures as a White House correspondent that we have ever seen. He's made a fool of himself. Even his peers in the White House Correspondents Organization say that he is a joke, okay? This is just, it's not somebody to be taken seriously, and he's consistently fabricating things that didn't happen, making up quotes that didn't happen, and distorting the news. He is fake news, okay? That's just who Jim Acosta is. We've highlighted that for several years now. Jim Acosta wants to be famous. Acosta clearly aspires to use this opportunity to spar with President Trump. So that's what this former CNN producer says. Okay. Jim Acosta loves nothing more than Jim Acosta. Yeah, we all get that. But I've also half joked that if we found out years from now that Acosta was actually a plant and was secretly working for the Trump re-election campaign, I wouldn't be shocked, he says. What? Now, I'll be honest, I didn't think about this, okay? I just assume that Jim Acosta is a moron, all right? Kind of like the bot who hopped on here earlier. I just assumed that. So Jim Acosta is, and I see it comments like he's competent. No, he's not competent. He hasn't shown any competent work in the years that I have covered the guy. He's just not. He's not good at his job. Now, maybe he has the skill set to be good at his job, and he's choosing not to be, and maybe that's what this guy's getting at. I don't know. But Jim Acosta is absolutely not a competent reporter, and his tenure in the White House press corps is ludicrous. Now, there are people out there with Trump derangement syndrome who love him just because somebody is slinging mud at the president. Even if it's not accurate, they don't care as long as there is mud being slung. And that's just kind of his fan base. But Jim Acosta is not liked by liberal members of the press. They don't like him. And they see what he's doing. It's all, look at me, look at me, look at me. I want to be famous. I want to be famous. Jim Acosta is the Michael Avenatti of the White House press corps. That's just who he is. Please look at me. Please look at me. Please look at me. I'm going to do something outlandish and outrageous so everybody looks at me. That's just who Jim Acosta is. But this guy seems to think that that he could be a plant by the Trump campaign, and he actually secretly works for President Trump. That's an interesting theory. Acosta plays the role of absurd antagonist journalist and tees up Trump to deliver what could essentially be a campaign message. Okay, let's analyze this for just a second. There's nobody that illustrates the point about the press that the president makes better than Jim Acosta. That's right. Does anybody disagree with that? When the president says the media is fake news, and he highlights CNN in particular, and of course CNN has had a terrible month and a half. But if he highlights CNN in particular, at the forefront of that, you think of Jim Acosta. And Jim Acosta, every time he opens his mouth, reaffirms that the president is right about the media and CNN in particular. Every single time. So, what if this guy's right? What if he's right? Who knows? Let's see. There's got to be a reason that even, other people around him who hate the president don't like this guy. Mr. Krakauer says, also citing PBS White House correspondent Yumichi Alcindor. I don't know if that's correct. Recent encounter with Surgeon General Jerome Adams over his use of offensive language in a coronavirus public outreach. Of course, he didn't use offensive language. The NAACP went to him, and he's a black guy, by the way, went to him and said, we need you to get members of the black community to stop doing these things. So that's exactly what he did. He honored the request of the NAACP. Black community's been hit pretty hard by the virus. And the NAACP said, we need to get people to stop doing these specific behaviors. Can you please say something? And that's what he did. And then he was attacked. This black guy was attacked by white liberals for being a racist. Anyway, exchanges like the ones with Acosta and Alcindor during coronavirus briefings are actually helping Trump get reelected, and they make all in the press look bad, he says. He's right. I mean, he's telling the truth. Every time one of these crazy people does one of these things, again, we've just been operating on it being Trump derangement syndrome. and the fact that they've collectively lost their minds in the shrieking darkness of a Trump-era presidency because they don't know what to do. But maybe they're plants, according to this guy. It almost seems like the leftist out there, which, by the way, liberals have been very, very prone to conspiracy over the past 10 years or so. And if you were to look at this, you have members of the media who lean left now saying the more outlandish leftists in the media are really working for Trump because all they're doing is helping the guy. They have to know they're helping the guy. Why would they behave this way if it's going to help him? It's an interesting theory. What do you think? I don't know that I necessarily totally buy into it, but I think it's pretty darn funny that they think this now. So now we're looking at all the Trump derangement syndrome members of the media, and they're now being accused of working for the president because they're so effective at proving his point for him and helping him get reelected. Something to consider and chew on, at least for a little bit. Avenatti is going to be president. Little Brian Stelter said so. That is true. That was another good montage that I played, was all the times that the media was praising Michael Avenatti. Let's see. Oh, man. Oh, got 100 messages. Priestess, white liberals are the worst racists in the country. True, Roland. I love it when pasty white liberals try to tell me how to be authentically black. Yes. Banana Face. There's a lot you're missing on that story, though. And first of all, you have a contract with somebody, which is a non-disclosure agreement. Standard NDAs are very common in business. Very common. She passed and failed a lie detect on the NDA, by the way. But also, there was nothing illegal about it or improper about it. So, NDAs happen all the time. Totally. In fact, if you look at the congressional fund that pays off people who have been staffers who have been harassed or assaulted by members of Congress, that's the same thing. It's a non-disclosure agreement. We'll pay you money to shut up, but you can't tell anybody who the congressperson was that assaulted you. And then Congress themselves seals it so the public doesn't learn who it is. And that is something that has been a problem for both parties for quite some time. But Michael Avenatti's a crook. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. Michael Avenatti is an absolute and total crook. And there was nothing illegal with the NDA between Stormy Daniels and the president. Nothing illegal about it at all. Stormy did have to repay some for Trump. Yes, that was true. That was true. So what do you guys think? You think Avenatti is working for Trump, or do you think he's just a Trump derangement douchebag? It's not a pivot, Banana. That was the story. The story was an NDA. There's a non-disclosure agreement with a payment. That's not a pivot. That's the story. And the story that it was illegal in some way, which is what they were saying, the story that it was illegal in some way was false. So he used personal funds. He didn't use campaign funds. Remember, that entire story was only relevant because they were trying to say that he illegally used campaign funds to do it, which wouldn't even be a big criminal offense. It'd be a little civil penalty, and then the campaign would go on. Obama did the same thing. It wasn't a porn star, but Obama did the same thing. Used campaign funds to pay somebody off. So he's a Trump derangement syndrome douchebag. Okay. It's an interesting theory, though. I mean, Jim Acosta is so effective at proving Trump's point that he might actually be working for the guy. Who knows? There's no pivot, Banana. You're using straw man fallacy. There is no pivot. So, again, the whole story was he used illegal campaign funds, except he didn't. He used personal funds. There was nothing illegal about that transaction. And even though we don't have definitive proof either way, I believe that he did have that arrangement with Stormy Daniels. I just don't care. Nor do I care about anybody who has non-disclosure agreements, whether it's about a personal relationship or a business arrangement. I don't care, because in business we use NDAs daily, so not really a big deal to me. For some people who don't use that, yeah, it is a straw man banana. You pivoted to a totally different topic by saying that I did. It's absolutely a straw man fallacy. So if you have an issue with him having a relationship with a porn star, that's a personal thing on you. I don't have a problem with that. If you have an issue with him paying somebody $130,000 to not disclose that relationship, I mean, that's fine if you have an issue with that, but there's nothing criminal about it. And if somebody learns about that relationship and decides that Trump is not worth voting for because for moral reasons they don't like that he had that relationship and that he paid somebody to not disclose that relationship, okay, I don't deem it as important. So that's all there is to it. There is nothing illegal or criminal about it at all. If there was something illegal or criminal about it, it would have been a minor infraction that is commonplace in politics, with a small little fine to the FEC, and that's it. The scoop on getting back to work is it looks like it's going to be, for a lot of places, early May. That seems to be the big thing. Now, the Trump administration is looking at doing a rollout May 1st, but that's going to, I think we're going to see some industries doing slow industry rollouts, that sort of stuff. But other than that, so Banana Face has no other argument other than straw man fallacy, it seems. April 30th or bust. Yeah. Well, and this is the thing, David. If Banana Face had a point, they would have made it by now. But they don't have a point other than he paid somebody $130,000 with a legal NDA. Okay? What else? Michael Avenatti's a criminal who stole from said person who Trump allegedly paid to keep quiet. So, go ahead, Banana Face. Just tell me what the deal with the $130,000 is. Why do you care so much about the $130,000? Is it a moral issue? Are you a religious person that doesn't approve of those types of relationships and that's a deal breaker for you? Oh, I'm clearly getting trolls here because he's not answering any questions. You didn't state a fact. You pivoted while saying others were pivoting. You didn't state a fact. That's the point. And now you're pretending that you didn't. So I'll give you one last option. One last opportunity. What is your problem with the $130,000 payment with Avenatti and Stormy Daniels? What's your problem with it? Got one more chance. Well, that's what I think, Alex, and I think that's where Banana Face is. So, last chance. What's your problem with somebody conducting a legal, perfectly legal transaction with somebody else and paying them? Well, no, I mean, we could make example after example after example on how leftists are okay with it happening with Democrats, but not with Republicans. But that's not the point. The point isn't to get into a tit for tat. The point is to make Banana actually answer the question, because he's the one that's outraged about it. Allegedly, it's a he. Didn't mean to assume your gender. Did he leave? I mean, if Susie blocks him, he doesn't just disappear from my feed, does he? She's not an admin. Did he just run away? There he is. I've already answered that question, Banana. I've already answered that. I addressed it very specifically and directly. What is your problem with a legal transaction like that? Why does that bother you? Just answer the question. I already answered that one. So maybe you're too busy typing, I don't know. But answer mine. What's your main issue with somebody paying somebody $130,000 of their own money in a legal fashion in exchange for a non-disclosure agreement? I know, right? I apologize for assuming their gender. I did. Didn't imply you were trans. I saw the name, assumed you were a man, realized I don't know if you're a man, so I just went ahead and corrected myself in case you're not. Has nothing to do with trans. Now answer the question. Last chance, answer the question. I've made it as vanilla, basic, and easy to answer as I possibly can. What is wrong with two people engaging in a legal contract for $130,000 in exchange for a non-disclosure agreement? What's wrong with that? Well, some people do, Chuck. Some people, Karen Pence cared. Karen Pence did not like that at all. But I don't think that Banana Face cares about that. I don't think that Banana Face thinks there's anything wrong with paying somebody to keep quiet. I think they only care that it's a Republican. That's my point. And since they still haven't answered the question, how many times have I asked it now? And they still haven't answered it. Which is a debate tactic, by the way. If you don't have an answer, you just keep asking different questions and you pivot to a different topic, which is what they've been doing the entire time they've been here. Well, no, it doesn't mean that he's guilty of anything, but there wasn't any assault. You have to understand, there's no assault. There's no accusation of a sexual assault with Stormy Daniels. It would be somebody had an affair with somebody and they didn't want that person to tell the world, so they signed a non-disclosure agreement with them and paid them $130,000. You can argue it's immoral all day long. A lot of Christians did during the primaries, but it's not illegal. So that's what I'm trying to point out. What is Banana Face's problem with a legal transaction like that? Is it a moral one, or is it something else? Just asking a question. Look how long it has taken for them to respond. What are they doing? Googling? Good Lord. Oh, it's a total moment. Absolutely, Kathy. If they have a moral problem with it, that's fine. Just say you have a moral problem with it. There's a lot of people in the evangelical right who had a moral problem with it, too. They called my show on a regular basis and said, I can't vote for a guy who slept with a porn star. Okay. I can't change your mind about that. I don't care about it. Some people do. Nothing wrong with that. That's a difference of opinion. For me, it's not a big deal. But for other people, it certainly is. What I don't know, and this is why I keep asking, and they keep running away from it. I don't know why they're so scared to answer this question. What is Banana Face's problem with that perfectly legal transaction? That's what I'm simply trying to get to the bottom of. And yes, I forget who mentioned it earlier, but yes, I mean, Stormy Daniels did have to pay Trump back. Oh, no, Alex, Banana Face doesn't give a damn about the 8 allegations against Joe Biden. Doesn't care about that at all. Doesn't care about the Ukrainian government accusing Joe Biden and Hunter Biden of criminal activity either. Doesn't care about any of it. Just, they must be gone. I mean, they must have run away. That's all I can think of. They must have run away. So, well, all right, you got 10 seconds, Banana Face. Answer the question. Pretty simple, basic question. Otherwise, I'm just going to assume you're a troll. So it's entirely up to you. Can answer why the $130,000 alleged payment is an issue for you, and then we can move past it and then continue to go about our day. Well, that was the headline that we ran with too. That was the headline. I mean, it's obvious that he's a troll, but you know, so what is this? 2 days in a row that I've asked trolls very simple, basic questions that would not in any way, shape, or form be a difficult question to answer, and they haven't done it. Every single one of them is kind of just like, oh shit, he's actually going to ask me a question. So Emily's not okay with it. However, I'm voting for President Trump, not a pastor. And I had a lot of evangelicals say that as well. They said, morally I didn't like his behavior, but I'm not voting for somebody on their moral behavior. He didn't do anything illegal, and therefore I'm okay with it. So, but there's plenty of people. I know I keep referring to. Well, they did say that they were upset that if I didn't assume that when I assumed their gender and then apologized for it, that I was implying they were trans, which of course I wasn't. Why were they so offended about thinking that people thought they were trans? It sounds like they're transphobic to me. As far as watching, okay, so Mark, here's the deal. I get paid nothing on YouTube. Nothing. On Twitch, I only get paid if you subscribe to my channel, okay? And I've been demonetized on YouTube. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to the premium service next week. And I can do that because of our sponsor while we wait for Banana Face to finally answer the question that they're so scared to answer, silverfoxart.com. Amazing products, fantastic art pieces made out of wood, backlit, beautiful pieces. That custom wood skull and cross mics that you've seen with my logo is phenomenal. And on the end screen today, you will see a picture of that same piece of art that they made for me. Go to silverfoxart.com, order your custom piece today. Phenomenal customer service, amazingly high-quality products, and just can't thank them enough for allowing me to step up and be able to do some of the premium stuff that I'm able to do. And I can't do it because, I can only do it because of them. I wouldn't be able to do it otherwise. Let's see. I'm assuming they're species. All right, so they just will Twitch Prime subscribers get access to the shows next week? You know what? I'm working that out because what I wanted to do is I wanted to take the shows and give away memberships for the patrons thing. So I have to figure out how to do that, okay? And I'm working on it, and I've got some inquiries in with Podbean about how to do that. So it may get to a point where I'm going to recommend that you not resubscribe and just follow me on Twitch. You will still get one show per week, maybe two, because I will do that everywhere. But it's entirely up to you. And I would certainly understand if you wanted to cancel it on Twitch. I would totally get that. But, I'm trying, what I would like to do is if you're paying on Twitch, I would like to just give you the premium membership, gift it to you. I want to gift the premium membership, obviously, to my admins, and there seems to be an issue with doing that. So I'm going to have to find a workaround, and I'm trying to talk with Podbean about how to do that, okay? So as soon as I know, I will certainly let you know. But good question. I'm glad you addressed that, because I don't want you paying for stuff on Twitch if, I'm still going to be doing Twitch content, don't get me wrong. But I will, discount code for Banana Face, 10% off. Oh, that's funny. All right, well, they obviously ran away. It was, guys, that is like the easiest question in the world. Why are you so upset about the payoff, which was a perfectly legal payoff? The only reason that was a story is because they were saying that he was illegally using campaign funds, which we know he wasn't. So I'm just sitting here wondering what's the opposition to it. And the truth is they don't have opposition to it. The truth is they think that we would have opposition to it, and they're wondering why we're not addressing it. But we don't have any opposition to it, so. Well, I just blocked him now. If he's going to be a troll, he, she, it, going to be a troll. And I don't have any use for it. Now, look, we've had several people hop on over the past week or so that are liberals that have been, pretty respectful in arguing actual points. And those people will not be blocked. They're certainly welcome to debate. I like that. I enjoy it. But at the same time, if you're just going to hop on and do ad hominem attacks and use straw man fallacy all the time, then we're not going to engage in that. Susie, I'll get all of that taken care of when it's fully set up, okay? So don't worry. It's all coming, okay? I get everybody's impatient. It's all coming. Don't worry about it. There might be There might be. Thank you, Mick J. Huff. I appreciate the sub. I will have all of that information. That is my Podbean right there that Alex just posted, Susie. But as far as the Patron program, it's not up and running yet. Okay, so don't click on any memberships or anything like that. I'm still setting that up. Well, so am I, Mike. That's just it. You know, it's like what is it, Nicholas on Facebook? You know, Nicholas is wrong about a lot of stuff, but Nicholas comes on and is at least respectful and debates an issue, and that's all I want people to do. And that's what I was trying to do with Banana Face, but Banana Face just wouldn't do it. You know, Banana Face brought up a topic about Avenatti, who's a criminal, okay? An actual criminal who has committed fraud upon multiple victims. We know that. It's not in dispute. He's only out of prison because of the virus, and they had to let him out because he was a low violence offender. And okay, if you have an issue with the Stormy Daniels payment and the NDA, then tell me why. That's all. It really isn't difficult. None of this is hard. But if you can't even answer that question, you know, you've got a pretty weak argument. So, all right. Having children between 18 and 25 can't get the $500 for them, and they can't get the $1,200 for themselves because they're in college? No, I don't think so. What it is that if you are a dependent, you're not going to get the money. Now, I don't know about the college student thing. I don't think that's applicable, Sean, but I could check on it. I don't think that being in college means you're not going to get it. I haven't seen that anywhere, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So I just take it with a grain of salt. Voted for 16 years of Pence in the White House. Yeah, I think a lot of people here in Indiana did. The virus is radioactive waste. Oh, boy. All right, so any last minute comments, questions, anything like that before I got to bounce on out of here? I'll give you 2 minutes. Anyone? Well, and that's why I call them bots, B-dubs. You know, they're NPCs, they're non-playable characters. They just do what the code says. Banana Face, whoever wrote the code for Banana Face, said, be angry about this legal transaction between Trump and Stormy Daniels. Be angry about that and go. And then once you get outside of that, okay, it just, the predetermined dialogue in the game just keeps recycling and recycling and recycling and recycling and recycling. They can't leave that dialogue and actually grow as a character. I know why Sanders fans are a minority even in the Democratic Party. The U.S. is where you work and build yourself up. The Bernie babies want Sanders to improve their lives for them. This is true. Yeah, that's largely accurate. Let's see. And that's, yeah, we've mentioned that before, Corey. There's 8 accusers, which, you know, it's weird. Like, I'm one of the only people that keeps telling everybody that there's 8 accusers. And it doesn't help when you have the New York Times, you know, doing a story when they've done stories on 2 of the other accusers, and they say, we haven't found another case where Biden has been accused of anything improper. You've reported on 2 of them. Your Discord question about smashing the like button, I don't know what you're talking about, Dave. I must have missed it, bud. And here's the thing. It did go fast because I started at 2:05. I don't know if it helps on the live chat necessarily. I know the comments help the YouTube algorithm. I don't know about the live chat. Does smashing the like button or love button on the Facebook video count as your total likes? I think you get one of those graphics when you do it that kind of shows up and it kind of spins up here. I think so. I don't know, though. Just hit the like button just in case. Good question. I actually don't know the answer to that. Biden is the poster boy for inappropriate behavior to women and children. Exactly. And that's what I was saying with Pete Buttigieg. You know, obviously, you all know 8 years ago I told you he was running for higher office, and about 3 years ago I told you he was going to run for president. And the reason for that is Pete Buttigieg was the exact contrast to Trump, personality-wise. And if you do all of this effort and this time to make Trump Orange Man bad, and he's crass, and he's mean, and he's racist, and he's sexist, you can't have your candidate who has all of those things in their history in much larger quantities for a longer period of time than Trump does. It won't work. And that's where Biden is. Biden has this long history of saying racist things, engaging in behavior that many people believe is racially inappropriate, certainly groping and touching people that he shouldn't be. And he's got 8 women who have accused him. Again, whether or not all of them are telling the truth and if they actually rise to the level of harassment / assault, you know, that remains to be determined. But it is just, it's, you know, it's ridiculous to watch the double standard. I just want people treated equally. That's it. You know, if a Republican does something and is accused of something, I want the press to cover them the exact same way that they would cover a Democrat. That does not happen. That's the problem. We had a meeting about guests for noise just this week, Corey. So we have some pretty good names on that list. Pretty good names. I can tell you that for the Lincoln Day dinner for the St. Joseph County Republican Party, when that happens, there's going to be a couple of really awesome people there, and I will be a part of that as well. All right, cool. Anybody else? When I hit 10,000 page likes on Facebook, it opens up options to monetize the stream. So even if I do the free videos on there, it'll run like a 15-second ad if I want it to. That's all. So, hey, well, you know, Tony Katz may be a possibility. You never know. You know, Tony's a buddy of mine. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got to bounce on out of here. So once again, please subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe, like, share, hit that bell icon to get notified when I upload a new video or I go live. If you are on Twitch, you can follow or subscribe there. If you are on Facebook, make sure you hit that like button and that you have liked my page as well. And then, of course, you can follow me on Twitter and Periscope at RealKCH. So I do appreciate it. Hold on, I want to double check something here on my website. Oh, there we go. Okay, so the widget on my website for the live stream actually did start working, so that's good. I don't know how far behind it is, though. That's the thing that I don't know. All right, folks, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And again, go visit silverfoxart.com. Phenomenal artwork over there. And again, we'll chat at you tomorrow. For those of you who are going to listen on the radio, hit us up in the live chat channel on the Discord, and we'll chat with you throughout the radio program on 95.3 MNC today from 3 until 6. All right, have a wonderful day, and we'll chat at you tomorrow.